Hey guys, Halos213 here, and as you can see today I'm playing some, or I did play because this is me talking over recording. I've been playing some Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I actually played this all the way through and beat it while we were doing Life is Strange in my own time. And since I haven't uploaded a video in a while, I decided to make a review / how to beat the final boss, Calamity Ganon. So, with this playthrough, there's so many ways you can beat this boss, but the way I do it is, again, it's a very time-consuming way, but it's very, if you want to challenge yourself, but at the same time you also want to take a road that could probably be easier for you. I do not use the Master Sword, because you do not need it. That is a rumor going around on the internet. People think you need the Master Sword to beat Calamity Ganon in Breath of the Wild. You do not. As you guys previously saw, I was using Heroic Claymore. If you want to scroll back the video and take a look at that proof. And as you guys see, the arrows I was using was a truckload of pretty much everything, but you want primarily bomb and ice arrows for the way that I'm about to show you how I completed this game. You don't need a shield. I mean, you technically do need a shield at one point, but you won't need to reflect his laser shots if you know what I'm talking about. I'll get later into the video and explain what I mean by that. But yeah, I don't reflect any laser shots, and I just basically dodge when he reaches his invincibility move. So, what I would recommend, as you guys saw as me previously, to have all four of the beasts unlocked before going into this, because it helps out a lot, and have the what was it called? Some excess food if you take too much damage. Again, I just did that because I can. So this recording is actually the second time I've beaten this boss. The first time I was learning how to beat him, because I wanted to beat legit, and this is how I figured out a way to beat him without looking up anything else on the internet. So, this is how basically what I'm doing is skipping the cutscenes, so if people are kind of annoyed by the spoilers of the cutscenes, they don't want to see them, they don't have to. So, boss battle begins. As you can see, he's at half health due because if you complete all the beasts, he actually loses health down to half health because you're giving them the power to do damage. So he's already at 2/4 left. If you want to go full, you're going to need a lot more equipment. But for my way I've completed it, I've basically lowered him down to half health. And right now I'm just dodging all of his stuff by using my sprint to move out of the way at the last second of his lasers. As you can see, like I'll move out of the way. But the trick is you want to have a bow with enough bomb arrows to shoot him in the beginning, because it will lower him down to 1/4 really quick if you just keep hitting him with it, no matter how many moves he does. The trick is when he's on the ceiling or on the wall, like as you saw where he jumped off, you want to try and get as much distance from you and the wall as possible, because if you take that, it's all damage. Then for dodging the lasers, instead of reflecting them, you want to push yourself to speed across those. And as you can see, we're at the invincible mode. Also, I didn't say in the beginning, but when he swung that giant fire sword, the trick to that one is, when he swings it sideways like this, is to stay as far away from the fire, because there is one point where the fire won't touch you. Just got a bit unlucky there. When he swings the sword downwards, the fire sword, you want to basically, like, move it far away so the sword doesn't land on top of you, and then flames will follow, and you just gotta dodge the flames. I'll explain it when we get there as well. So once again, dodging the lasers, by moving out of the way. When he corners you in the edge like this to use one of the 3 weapons he has attached to the top of his head, you just gotta move through the way he's not standing. Again, this is all movement based if you're not using the shield to reflect the lasers and only the spear with the thing. So this is what you need to do. You use your barrier with one of the beast things, and to knock him down, you then proceed to beat him up. Again, this sort of electric beast comes in handy where you can just let go and will do excess damage right before he gets up after you use your heavy attack. And as you can see, you slowly lower him down. The trick is to get a strong enough weapon that you can do in 3 trials of bouncing that spear at him if you're trying to do the way I beat him. Which to me, I think it seems more challenging instead of reflecting the laser shots and just trying to dodge them. And then, yeah. So again, I know in the comments you can reflect that laser shot with your shield, but I feel like to me that would make it too easy. So again, I challenge myself to try and dodge him and use only reflective spears, because to me it seemed like a very more challenging boss fight. As you can see, I'm shooting some ice arrows at him for fun. As soon as you put him into invincibility mode, you want to immediately switch to your ice arrows. So yeah. Okay, so he's going to climb back on the wall. Again, you want to keep your distance. Make sure you're not too close to him, because again, he can pretty much, if he jumps off, the blue radius that he repels will actually take damage. As you can see, I took 1 heart of damage, and missed that one that time, but the thing is, when he's charging up his shot, when he's on the wall and charging up his shot and it hits the ground, it does leave a fire radius, so what you want to do is run towards him instead of in the direction onto the side, because if you run towards him, like this right now, see I wasn't running towards him, I took fire damage. But if you actually run towards him when he's shooting the shot, it won't deal the fire damage to you. I'll show you an example of that. I figured that out during this fight, so sorry if the first couple of shots he shoots were actually taking damage. But yeah, again, you still have the food, and you still have, again, if you completed all the beasts, you would still have the health, the temporary hearts from the water or the elephant beast. Again, sorry, I don't know the exact names. I'm just calling them based on what they are: elephant, bird, lizard, all that. This part, again, it's going to be time consuming because basically what you're doing is you're waiting for him to throw the spear, and this is where I find the challenge because you're not doing the counter combat where you're dodging and then charging or reflecting the bullets back. But yeah, so as you can see, I showed off my claymore again. Just show that you, again, don't need it. There's weapons on the ground too if you really need to hit him with something or something breaks. But yeah, I recommend getting the Royal Claymore. If people want in your comment, I'll probably make a video on where you could find it. It's a really strong sword. It's actually stronger than the Master Sword. The only difference is the Master Sword obviously cannot break, while the Royal Sword can. So yeah, again, just holding the reflect to deflect it using the Lizard's beast power. And then you just, again, charge up your swing. It kind of screwed it up that time, but you charge up your swing so you can let go of electricity so it goes through onto Calamity Ganon. So initially the Lizard only gives you 3 charges to put your shield up, but the trick behind that is you want to like, if you run out of charges, you're going to have to last whatever the timer is. And in this video I kind of like force myself to do that so you guys can see penalty if you screw up in the 3 shots, because within those 3 shots, again, you want a strong enough weapon that's going to be able to lower down the rest of his health to 0. Another cool thing is I had 1 extra bomb, and I believe I actually shoot it at him, which is also pretty good. If you're too far away when you actually reflect the spear back into him, if you have any like heavy-duty damage arrows with you, maybe like an ancient arrow or any bomb arrows, I would recommend shooting him when he's knocked out on the ground after you reflected the spear, if you can't reach to him with a sword or with a strong thing. So this is where your ice arrow is going to come in. If you probably recognize that move with one of the bosses, where he reflects the arrows. And the trick is, you want to make sure you can do that. As you can see, this is what I was talking about, where I saw he was falling, so I shot my last bomb arrow for fun, and then I charged him. So this is where I screwed up and I swung way too early, and I should have like charged my shot because I could have been able to kill him had I get one more swing in there. But yeah, so now. And I fell into the blue. But this is why you always want to keep the elephant beast with you, because as you can see, I just died there when I have full health, and I still have my food. So even if my full health on my charges dies out, I can still eat my food and get my health back up for emergencies. Again, this is a challenging way of defeating the boss because again, you're forcing yourself to dodge and not in the physical blocking way. And this is the move I was talking about, where he slams the sword down. As you can see, just get out of where the sword's going to land, and when the fire projectile's outwards, then just move out of the way. You want to use your sprint in a timely manner. As you can see, there's my mess up, so I have to wait 5 minutes before I can actually pull off my shield. Again, your bird technique, I kind of goofed around with it inside here. I used it once, I believe. The trick is you kind of want to save the bird for when you're outside, because it will also help you when you're doing the second stage of this boss. For those who are just looking into complete Calamity Ganon, you probably don't understand what I'm saying. And if you want to click off of this video once I defeat Calamity Ganon, so for no spoilers, because you want to see what happens next, go ahead. For those who've got past Calamity Ganon or know what's past him and want to know how to beat the second stage, I'm going to be running through that in this video as well. Once I defeat Ganon all the way through, I'm probably going to explain my whole review on the game, so stay tuned for that. If you're just here for the review, I'll probably throw up a time in the bottom left-hand corner for you guys to go look at what time I actually started my review. And yeah, you can just click on that if you just want to skip to the review. But I think you guys have probably figured that out now by what's on the bottom of the screen. So yeah, dodging more lasers. Not much has happened. I took a couple hits. I'm checking periodically to see when my lizard power is coming back. I got 4 minutes. Again, I check it quite a bit. If you guys like this challenge, or like this type of idea of a challenge of not using the reflect of the shield, let me know, because I feel it's a good challenge. I know there's some people who go like far out where they don't get any beasts, and they go in like having to fight all 4 of the bosses before they actually fight Calamity Ganon. And for those who don't know, that's basically when you go into the boss battle without defeating one or all of the beasts. You actually have to fight the bosses that are a part of the beasts. It's kind of hard to explain because each beast comes with a boss if you actually haven't defeated them, and you actually go to each beast to fight them. Or again, if you don't do that, you'll have to fight them before you even fight Calamity Ganon. I'm assuming most people know that already because they wouldn't be clicking on this video if they haven't gotten to this point. If they have, then that's their fault. I mean, you should have read the title of the video, but I'm not going to get judgmental. That was a close one. I came to the realization in that video that I got really close to dying in that one. Because the sword, if you let the sword hit you, it takes a lot of hearts, and it's a really hard to come back because it could insta-kill someone if you do not have enough hearts to protect yourself. The cool thing about this dodge move, though, is for people who are trying to complete with only like 3 hearts as a challenge, you probably want to be able to evade that. So as you can see, I just spent one of my flying beast moves, which launches you up into the air by holding down your jump button. I personally wanted to goof around with it. I was kind of stupid and lost a couple hearts. I didn't really care. I was just trying to make something entertaining because I had to wait 5 more minutes before I could actually defeat Calamity Ganon. Due to the fact that I messed up, also it was kind of helpful for the video. So as you can see, that time when he was up on the wall and he charged up his shot, I was able to move out of the way and basically dodge him. Again, for those who... I'll also probably keep another tab on the bottom corner if you guys want to skip this 5 minutes. Again, I'm just making commentary about the game that for this boss battle would help you. If you want to skip to the second stage of the boss battle because you've got enough information, again, bottom... I think I'll make it the bottom right, and then the other side will be the review. If you just want to go to those times it says on the thing, you can click to the next one. Click to the next part of the video. Sorry, I'm half awake today. My commentary is a little bit all over the place for those who are wondering. But yeah. Also, I want to put a big shout out. I want to say thanks for the support for the Ruby Amino app. I know I'm kind of running behind on the Ruby channel. I am working on content for that, for those who watch my channel daily. Okay, so I basically am almost there. I made a screw up at this point where I had 1 minute left and I knew he was about to throw the spear, so I tried to shield, but I'd mistaken my shield at the wrong time and he hit me with the spear. And that's why I highly recommend keeping emergency food just in case you fuck something up if you're completing this for the first time or watching this video to complete it for the first time. It wasn't that spear. I think it's a couple more minutes from now, because it's like right when I get back the ability to reflect. Again, always keep enough ice arrows if you have to go longer than the 5 minutes than I did for the next charge to be able to complete this challenge. Make sure you keep your what's it called? Your shield, or your make sure you get enough ice arrows so you can have enough time to get your shield back. But yeah, again, if you guys like these types of videos, let me know, because I might actually get a capture device to be able to record better resolution, because obviously you can see that this resolution is basically captured with my cell phone and not with a good capture device. I'm pretty much just lined up my what's it called? My Switch with my cell phone, so they got a good recording of the Switch. I played the game and then yeah, did it that way. If you guys, again, want me to do a whole tutorial, because I was thinking about doing this, of the whole game and how to complete the whole game, let me know, because I will do it. Or if you just want a playthrough of it, because I've already beaten the game, but having, like, maybe other friends, like, again, if you guys know Beaked or Metal, having them comment in the background while I play this game, totally optional. Again, okay, so that's where I screwed up. I was trying to use my shield on my charge, but I didn't block at the right time. Ended up taking a lot of damage. But again, this is why you carry the food. Good place to find food is if you know the desert land where the where you get the camo. Once you get the costume to make yourself look like a girl to get inside the town, I highly recommend getting food in there, because there's a lot of good food there for cheap. It gives you a lot of heart restoration. For example, the meat I had was 5 hearts and it helped me out quite a bit. But yeah. So yeah, we're getting down to the wire here. I think we got like a couple minutes left before he hops back up on the wall and I just destroy him. Because again, if you're just doing this type of dodging, it shouldn't be that hard for people who are new to this boss. And again, people who want to use the shield to reflect are good at it, or people who like doing the counterattack, so when he swings his sword sideways to counterattack, that is your way of playing it. Or if you want to try that, I recommend checking out a different video, because this content is again just using this maneuver to basically use a reflect attack. It makes it more challenging, and to some people it's an easier way of playing it depending on how your playstyle is. Okay, so Calamity Ganon's dead. He's gonna burst into blood, and there's gonna be blood everywhere. There's really no like dodging that factor. But as you can see, we're gonna hit on to the second stage of the boss. For those who don't want to know the rest of it, click off right now. I probably recommended it because you don't probably want to see this. But you guys have clicked on to see the second stage of this boss. So yeah, the trick to this boss is fairly simple. He's extremely easy. For those who have never fought this boss, or the second stage of this boss, you really don't need to watch this video. But if you're still like, if you somehow are having trouble, this is what you do. You go on the left or right side or behind the boss, and then you just stand there. But don't do what I did in this recording, which was forget to pick up the bow. As soon as the cutscene goes by and you see that there's a bow, pick up the bow, go on the left or right side of him, and then just stay on that side, because he can only attack from the front. If you attack from the sides, or if he attacks from the sides, I didn't see that in my gameplay. I've beaten this boss 2 times, and so far in those 2 times I haven't seen him be able to attack from the sides. Also, when you set yourself up on the sides, as you can see, Zelda obviously puts the hit markers that you gotta hit down. If you didn't know that, that's pretty much what they're implying. You can hit those 3 circles just like that. Again, once you've done this, the bird's gonna come in real handy for the final part if people got stuck there. I know my first time I got a bit stuck because I didn't know what to do, and I was kind of just playing around with stuff, and then I finally figured it out. But yeah, also, you do not need a fast horse for this. I know the one I'm riding has 4 charges, but I only ended up using 2, and I know a lot of the weaker horses that are not that fast have only 2 charges. So yeah, I recommend getting just a 2-charge horse. It's very helpful. So yeah, and then again, I'm just waiting on this side for the other charges, because the yellow circles only appear once on each side, and I know that they're going to pop up on this side next time. And yeah, they're there. Depending on what side you're on, it depends on what circles appear. So if you're more on the right side, they'll pop up on the right side first. If you're more on the left side, they'll pop on the left side first. And then finally, the last one, if you're looking for it, is below the belly. It's pretty, again, this boss is pretty easy. He only attacks from the front sides and eventually will turn around. You just have to keep moving on the side of him, and you should be fine. The only problem I really had trouble with is, as you can see, I kind of stray off here. I'm not too good with the horse riding. Again, I've maxed out my bond with my horse, but still not too shabby with him. Again, see, you only need to break 2 charges. Not really an issue. Also, taming horses would probably be a fun thing to do as well. Again, if you guys want me to do that, I can make a video on how to tame a horse, because I know there's not that many good videos out there, and I kind of wish there was. Because when I was learning how to tame a horse, I think that's really the only thing I looked up on the internet, because I could never figure it out. Like I all the dungeons and stuff I got down fine that I wanted to get enough hearts and stuff. All the shrines I was trying to figure out, I got it. And yeah, just the horse, I don't know. Okay, so the last part, as you can see, like I said, you want to keep that bird. What you're gonna do is, once you get the chance and use the tech, you're gonna get off the horse by holding down your X to jump up in the air. He's going to shoot, you're going to wait for the eye open. Well, you got to jump off when the eye is open, and then you're going to shoot it directly. And that's how you defeat the Ganon completely. I'm going to skip the cutscene because I know people watching this are probably going to see what happens next. And yeah, so eventually I'll skip the cutscene, just that you have to watch a certain part before you can skip it. So yeah, and then I guess by this point, the people who clicked on are probably here for the review. You probably clicked this time for the review, so we're going to get right into that. So my review of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, again, is kind of like a it's a mix. I have a personal opinion on it because I mean my opinion is not the best in the fact that I should speak for all Zelda games, because this was technically only my second time playing a Zelda game. The first game I ever played that was Zelda, which was the actual original Legend of Zelda. I did a playthrough with, if you guys are familiar with the Secret French Fry and a couple of us, his friends, we did a let's race of who could beat that game, and I never completed it, but I got pretty far into it and I enjoyed it for it being the classic Legend of Zelda. I had a good time with it, and I didn't really get into the series as much, but when I played this game, if you guys like Skyrim, but you don't like how open it is, like because it's not too linear, this game would probably be best for you because it's not as linear. I'm not gonna say it's the best Legend of Zelda game because I haven't played. Again, I only played 2 of them. But from my standpoint, I had a blast with it. It was kind of addicting trying to follow the story and complete stuff. For a person who's a completionist, you'll love this game. I highly recommend it. For those who are not into exploration and completion, I would not recommend that. If you're into like stuff like, I don't know, like puzzle games that are non-exploration, you just want straight puzzles, I kind of lean towards something else because this you kind of have to go exploring for the puzzles and like such. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. If you guys like these types of videos, like beating bosses, let me know in the comments. Or if you want more of the Switch, let me know in the comments. It lets me know specifically. I mean, leaving a like helps, but leaving a comment specifically telling me what you want more of, it also helps me. If I had to rate this game out of 5 out of 10, I would highly recommend rating it. I would rate it not a 5 out of 10. A 1 out of 5. If I had to rate between those scales, 5 being the best, 1 being worse, I would recommend this one pretty high. This would be a 4. But yeah, if you guys like this content, kill the like button, subscribe, become a Spartan today. Halos out.